Hey Booktube, it's Jen and I am going to be doing the Booktube-a-thon audiobook version. I initially thought that this would be too big of a challenge to take on, but then I thought, you know what, why not? Let's try it. The Booktube-a-thon is being hosted by these people, and I will link their channels below so you can check out the details of the whole thing. And also, if you're going to do this Booktube-a-thon, please link your channel below in the comments so that I can and everybody else can go check out what you're going to read. So like I said, this is the audiobook version of the Booktube-a-thon challenge. There are 7 challenges in this whole thing. So I'm going to go through those one by one and let you know what I'm going to be reading. So first off, you're supposed to read 300 pages a day. That translates roughly to about 8 hours of listening time. Now, I don't know if I have 8 hours every day to listen, so that'll be my biggest challenge, is trying to get through 8 hours of a book in a day's time. But I'm going to give it a really good try, and we'll see if I can do that. The second challenge is to read a book that is 500 or more pages. That translates listening time to a lot more than just 8 hours. It's more like, it can be up to 16 hours, but usually more like 12 to 15 hours. Well, the book I chose is called Shadows. It is the sequel to Ashes by Ilsa J. Bick, and it has 528 pages. It is 13 hours and 11 minutes long listening time, so I'm going to try and listen to that one. I read Ashes recently, so I'm hoping that I'll fly through that. The third challenge is to reread a book. I am kind of undecided about what I want to reread, but I think it's probably going to be Clockwork Princess by Cassandra Clare, because I just absolutely adored that story and I love the narration. The guy who narrates it is a voice actor. I think his name is Daniel Sharman, if I'm not mistaken, but if I'm wrong, I will put it right here. Anyway, I love that book, and it's probably one of my top favorite books of all time, maybe even the top favorite book of all time. So the fourth challenge is to complete a series. Now for that, I actually have the print book to show you that I'm going to read, and that is Green by Ted Dekker. I have read the series. It's been a long while ago that I read the Red, White, Black series that Ted Dekker wrote, but I never read this one. This is book 0 in the series, and it completes the circle. And I think it's called the Circle books. And so my kids have all read, well, not all, but a couple of my kids love this series. And I really like Ted Dekker, so this will finish up that series for me. And I'm kind of refresh all the characters in my mind, so I'm kind of looking forward to that. And again, I'll be listening to it. I have it on audio. Fifth challenge is to listen to a book on audio. So for me, that's going to be reading a book in print. And for that, I'm going to read Immortal by Scott Speer. I love the idea of this book. It looks really good. I have just read the back synopsis, and basically it's about guardian angels, but they are celebrities in Hollywood, in LA, of course. And it's kind of a story of one of them who's a huge celebrity, and he gets involved with a girl, and you know, things go from there. So anyway, it looks really good, and I'm excited to read it. So I will be reading that in print. Sixth challenge is to read a book that has been on your shelf the longest. And for me, that's Harry Potter. I recently got this on audio, and I'm really kind of excited to read it. I've actually read this book almost all the way through. I got about, well, I think the bookmark is still in there, but I never got all the way through it. So my kids have all read this book. It's really showing it's where we got it new. So it looks pretty, you know, like millions of kids have read it. 5 kids have read it. And my youngest daughter, she's read it like 10 times. So that will be my book that has been on the shelf the longest. And I think it would be fair to say that I haven't read this because I couldn't get my hands on it because everybody else had it. The 7th challenge is to read a classic. And for that, I'm going to be reading To Kill a Mockingbird. So I'm excited about that. I have never read that. I know so many kids, all the kids these days read it in high school, and I know that because I substitute teach in our local high school, and I often sub for the librarian. And of course, she's got stacks and stacks and stacks of paperback copies of To Kill a Mockingbird because everybody in high school has to read it. Well, I've never read it, and of course, everybody raves about what a great book it is, so I'm kind of excited to read that one. So that's what I'll be doing for the Booktube-a-thon. We'll see if I can keep up with all of that, and I probably will not make videos on my progress day to day, but I'll keep up with all of you on Twitter, and I'll probably make a video at the end just to kind of let you know how I did. So I hope that you're going to do this too, and if you are, like I said, link your channel below so that we all know what you're reading and how you're doing. And definitely check out the 2 hosts of the Booktube-a-thon because they are fabulous, and you should follow them on Booktube if you do not already. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.